Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this Lily of the Valley crochet bookmark. Now, I have already made a video for this before. This is one of my older patterns, and I hadn't quite expected it to do as well as it did. So because of that, I thought that I would make a brand new, updated version for all of you that's much slower and is more of a beginner pace. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. For this tutorial, you're going to need some yarn. I recommend using a thin cotton yarn, and you're going to need this in two colours, in green and a colour of your choice. I quite like to use a purple or a white. You'll also need a 2.5mm crochet hook, some scissors, and a darning needle. To begin, take your coloured yarn and make a magic ring. If you're not entirely sure how to do this, check out my video here. At the beginning, I show you how to do this in detail. Once we have our ring, we're going to make 7 double crochet into it. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through both those loops. We're going to do that 6 more times. So once you have your 7 double crochet, you're going to take your tail end and you're going to pull it tight, and you'll see that this closes our ring. So this is what your first round should be looking like. Then to close the round, find your very first double crochet, insert your hook into it and make a slip stitch. So you're going to yarn over, pull through that stitch and pull it straight through the loop on your hook. And that is the end of round 1. For round 2, begin by chaining 1. Now this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We're going to make 2 double crochet into each stitch around. So starting in that first stitch, make your 2 double crochet. So here's 1, and here's our second one. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around. So I'm just coming to the end of round 2. You should have 14 double crochet in total. To close the round, find the very first double crochet you made, insert your hook into it, and make a slip stitch. And that's the end of round 2. For round 3, begin by chaining 1. Remember, this doesn't count as a stitch. Now, this round is pretty simple. You're going to simply make 1 double crochet into every single stitch. So I'm just coming to the end of round 3 now, and you'll see that your flower has started to curve round a little bit. This is going to be the top of your flower. To finish the round, you're going to find the first double crochet that you made, you're going to insert your hook into it, and you're going to make a slip stitch. And if you want to quickly count your stitches, you should have 14 double crochet in total. Now, for round 4 and 5, you're going to repeat round 3. So you're going to begin by chaining 1, you're going to make 1 double crochet into every stitch around, and you're then going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet you made to close the round. So go ahead, pause the video, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 5. So I'm just coming to the end of round 5 now, and I'm just going to finish it off by making a slip stitch. And this is what your flower should be looking like. Now, for round 6, we're going to begin by chaining 1. Into that very first stitch, make 1 double crochet. We're now going to make something called a decrease. So, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the following stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So this has made our first decrease. So we had our 1 double crochet and then our decrease. And we're going to repeat this all the way around until we have 2 stitches remaining. So I now have my 2 stitches remaining at the end of round 6. Into these, make 1 double crochet. And to close the round, find your first double crochet, insert your hook into it, and make a slip stitch. And that's the end of round 6. We're now going to start making our petals. So begin by chaining 1. Into the very first stitch, make 1 double crochet. Back into the same stitch, make 1 half treble crochet. And back into the same stitch, make 1 treble crochet. And we're now going to repeat those steps in a reverse order in the next stitch. So into your next stitch, make 1 treble crochet. Into the same stitch, make 1 half treble crochet. And finally back into the same stitch, make 1 double crochet. So as you can see, this has made our very first petal. And we're just going to repeat these last few steps all the way around until we have 5 petals in total. So into your next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Then 1 half treble crochet. Then 1 treble crochet. Into the next stitch, make 1 treble crochet. Then 1 half treble crochet. And finally, 1 double crochet. So I've just finished my final petal, and to close the round, find your very first double crochet, insert your hook into it and make a slip stitch. From here you can then chain 1 to fasten off, and you can cut your yarn. And there you are, you now have your flower. So you can go ahead and you can use your darning needle to sew in any tail ends. So we're now going to start making the stem part of our bookmark, and this part it's a little fiddly, but it's not too hard once you get the hang of it. So you're going to begin by taking your green yarn and you're going to make a slip knot. From here, we're going to chain 6. Now find your first chain, insert your hook into it and make a slip stitch. This has made our first leaf. From here, chain 18. Now count back 6 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Into this 6th chain, insert your hook and make a slip stitch. Now you're going to repeat these last steps, so the chain of 18 and then the slip stitch back, until you have about 5 leaves in total. So I've just finished making all of my leaves, and you should finish with a slip stitch. So you should finish with a little leaf. Now chain 16. Into the second stitch from your hook, make a slip stitch. Into the next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, make 1 half treble crochet. And finally, into the next stitch, make 1 slip stitch. So this has created a slightly bigger leaf, which is going to sit just above your flower. To finish, chain 7. And now you can cut your yarn. Make sure you leave quite a long tail end, because this is what you're going to be using to sew all of your pieces together. We now have an optional step here, and this is just to make a second leaf. Begin by making a slip knot. Now chain 5. Into the second chain from your hook, make a slip stitch. Into the next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, make 1 half treble crochet. And into your final stitch, make a slip stitch. Now you can chain 1 to fasten off, and you can cut your yarn. And as before, make sure you leave a long tail end, because you'll be using that to sew all of your pieces together. So we have all of our pieces now. We have our main stem, our extra leaf, and our flower. Taking your long stem, find the end which has the bigger leaf. So the end with the long tail end. And taking your darning needle, you just want to sew this to the top of your flower. Just on top like that. And then if you have got the extra leaf, it's completely optional. You then want to sew it to the little chain 7, which separates the other leaf and your flower. So it's just going to sit there. You can kind of sew it how you want to, really. And it should end up looking like this. So as you can see, I've sewn it right there to the top, and I have my extra leaf which I've sewn on as well. And I've also tidied it up by, sewing in all my other tail ends. And there you are. You now have your very own Lily of the Valley crochet bookmark. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know down below in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy crocheting.